Hey, good morning, guys. Welcome back to the Rod Shop. I'm Captain Lee, and today we're talking about balancing a rod. So stick around. Okay, so this video, well, let's back up. I'm going to tease you a little bit. I've been getting a lot of questions in the comments and in emails about the rod building business. And since you guys know, I've gone back to college and, I managed to get a couple A's in my first term, and I'm in my second term, and I'm smoking managerial economics and macroeconomics and ethics. Air conditioner. It's finally cold-ish in Florida. I was bundled up yesterday. We were on the water. But anyway, I've got a lot of questions about the business of a rod, real rod business, the business aspects of it. And I've come up with what I think is a pretty good video of how to take your hobby to the next level, not to be a giant rod building business, not even to be our size. I mean, we spend, somewhere in the neighborhood of $40,000 a year on components. I would call us a medium-sized rod shop. I don't know what to call us. I don't know. We're changing. We're morphing. Things are happening. So anyway, that one's coming. But today we're talking about balancing a rod. I got like 3 questions last week specifically about, do you put a reel on it first? Do you have to balance with a reel on it? Or do you balance it with just the blank and the rod built? So I'm going to tell you the way I do it and how I feel about it. It's not the only way to do it. It's certainly, I'm not the expert in balancing a rod, although my customers like what I give them. So here's my thought. Got a couple broken soldiers here that I keep around for doing demos. But here's the primary reason I say it does not matter whether you have a reel on the rod or not. First of all, when I was at NFC, I was at Edge Rods, and I asked them why they don't balance a blank or balance a rod. The answer I got from them was, well, we don't know what kind of reel is going to go on the rod. All right, that's a reasonable statement. But what I have discovered and what keeps my clients happy is that it doesn't matter what reel is going to go on it. And here's why. So I'm always looking to balance my rod without a reel with a balance point here at about the front of the reel seat. Oh, I have a finished rod in here. It was close. So this one is almost done. But the balance point for my rods is usually where the threads are, or just in front of the reel seat. And that's, trying not to ding it. It's right there on the edge of that hood. Let me slide that hood back a little bit. I can balance on it. The balance point for this rod, and for all of my rods, my target is right in the threads of the reel seat. And here's why. So when most people use a spinning rod the same way, and we'll get to that in a minute. When most people are fishing with a bait caster, now this applies mostly to freshwater bass rods, because that's what I build a lot of. Most people are going to palm this bait caster. They'll either hold the reel like this, with the trigger between the pinky and the ring, or like me, how do I hold it? That's exactly how I hold it. I had to think about that. That's weird. Somebody else may hold it, and I think some reels I'll palm it like this. Honestly, I haven't really given it that much thought, but I know the reel is either in my hand or just a little bit forward of my hand. And what that does is it completely eliminates the weight of the reel when it comes to balancing a rod. My point of balancing, the reasoning behind balancing at the threads of the reel seat, no matter what rod it is, you want just a little bit of tip feel, but you don't want it to crash heavy. Let's see, I got one that's unbalanced yet. Don't go away. All right. This is one of the big boy 765s. It's the first production one coming off the line. And it is not balanced yet. The balance point on this rod, prior to the butt cap and the actual balancing, is way out here. And what that's going to do, if I built it like this, it's very tip heavy. My rods, completed rods, if you line them up ounce for ounce against high-end factory rods or other custom builders, mine are going to be heavier every time if you stand it up like this and weigh it. But you don't fish with it like that. You fish with it in your hand, and the torque of the tip weight really wears on your forearm if you fish with it a lot. Now, when I balance this rod, I am probably going to put an ounce. I'm going to bury an ounce of lead in the butt. And you're like, why would you add an ounce of weight to a blank? Well, the reason is this. Let's say, here's a 1 ounce tungsten right here. This, that might be a 3/4. This weight out here on a tip of a rod feels very heavy, and you will feel it right here all day long. This weight in the palm of your hand right here, you can hang on to this weight all day long, and you won't feel it. There's not enough mass there to matter. So what I'm effectively doing is I'm transferring the weight from the tip into the palm of my hand, and I can fish what every one of my customers says is an insanely light rod. The reality is the rods aren't that light. They're perfectly balanced. Same thing with a spinning rod. This is one that's getting ready to go out. Same deal. This one is balanced, ready to go, and it is balanced right in front of the reel seat. Right? Not quite. There we go. This one doesn't have, yeah, it's got labels on it. There it goes. Same reasoning. Most people holding a spinning rod, they're going to put the stem in here between your ring finger and your middle finger when they're holding it. Same concept. The weight, I have transferred the weight way back here, and one of the reasons that this one feels a little out of balance is this is a much shorter, this is like 10 inches from the stem to the butt, because it's a jerkbait rod. And so you need it. You can see how short, holding it like I would fish it, I've got a really short, this is probably 3 inches from my elbow. Anyway, balance matters way more than overall weight of a rod. That's my opinion. That's the opinion of nearly every one of my clients. A guy yesterday, first time, pick up Dragon, and he'd been fishing with me all day. And another guy who had some of my custom rods was also in the boat, and I was kind of guiding, kind of just a fun fishing trip with some friends of mine. But Kevin had never held an FDX rod, and he'd been fishing his nicer Falcon rods all day long, and Bob handed him the Dragon that Bob just got 2 weeks ago. And Kevin just laughed when he made the first cast with it because they're crazy light. Anyway, if you want your clients to really, if you want to set yourself apart from most other builders and every factory rod out there, balance your rods. Don't need a reel, but balance your rods to this point right here. When they pick it up, it's going to be crazy light. They'll never forget that experience, especially for the first time. Anyway, that's me rambling about balance. Guys, keep the questions coming. Like I said, the next video is coming up about the economics of a rod business. And then the video after that, we're probably going to talk about clothespins. Yeah, I saw something on a short the other day, And I had to watch it again to make sure that I saw what I thought I saw. We're going to modify some, like these are the small clothespins. These are the micro clothespins. I think I bought 50 for $5 off of Amazon of each one of these. We're going to make some modifications that might speed up your wrapping process. I don't know. I haven't tried it yet, but it's an interesting idea. We're going to give it a whirl in here. So anyway, that's it for balancing. Look for the economics video coming up next, and then we'll play with clothespins. So thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you next time. And we're out.